tell us a little bit about TriDot and your role there, because it's a pretty big role. You're a coach, but you're way more than that. So,
I got to know TriDot really back in 2016, and I think that it was intriguing for me because when I was a pro triathlete, the training was real simple. It was literally all high volume. All high volume, a lot of aerobic. You definitely push when you were in group sessions with runners or on rides or in swim sessions, but that was the gist of it. And then it was a taper, literally, 3 to 4 days before, and then go out and just race as hard as you could. I even found that maybe in trail running. I know when I did Western States, I did a training camp up there in Auburn, California, and I think literally in 3 days we ran 100 miles.
yeah. What year did you do Western States?
Oh, I want to say it was about, I could be a little bit off, but I want to say about 94.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I wanted to do that. And so as I went into to look at TriDot, I really got familiar with the platform and how they use, artificial intelligence and algorithms to really customize and optimize a training program for me. And it was based on my gender, my age, my sleep, my nutrition, my lifestyle, when I started swimming, biking, running, where I lived. So there was a lot of factors in there that really customized it to give me the best workouts. And I was shocked that I was like, whoa, I am training much different now. The first about 6 weeks on TriDot, I struggled to even finish the sessions. I was like, I'm again getting my butt handed to me because I've never trained this way before. But for me, I remember that vividly, and I think it was 2016 that I had signed up for 3 full Ironmans in 9 weeks. So think of a cadence of every 3 weeks. And in each one, I actually got faster and faster and faster on the run. And I'm like, whoa, this is huge. This is incredible that I could do that and see the benefit versus training 25 or 30 hours, which wasn't every week, which was not sustainable, and then started working with athletes. And I think the more you work with different athletes at different levels, you have a better understanding. But me doing the same program has been great. And since then, we have added so much to our platform to look at more variables, to look at more metrics, to make sure that we're not overtraining, to really understand the artificial intelligence. For example, just one little example, if I've got a week of training myself or with an athlete and they've got a threshold run session on, say, Wednesday, if it's fartleks or it's a progression run, and they are not meeting that prescribed session of what the intensity should be, the AI automatically adjusts the sessions for the weekend to back off the intensity, because it's reading, I think we can read 1,000 different checkpoints in the hour to know that it's not me as a coach kind of creating a template like, go ahead and do this. It's the AI working with that. And I'd say about 90% of the time it's spot on to say that you're going to be more productive, you're going to be more injury free. But I find that in doing that, it really prevents a lot of overtraining, and also that the continued cadence and the consistency of the athlete putting data into the system. Every workout, I think in swimming, just in swimming alone, I think we have 20 million different workouts. Versus, I think every athlete, if they don't have something like that, they can get stale. They get into, it's like a strength training program where I'm checking the box, but I'm not varying my training at all. I can't figure out why I'm not doing any better. That you've got to literally mix it up and embrace that challenge. So I think with all the sophistication that we have now with, technology, that if it's, in the swim, especially on the bike, you can, get into so many different platforms. If it's Swift, is it full gas? Is it Ruby? You can sync your bike up to that, and it's really, really engaging. I think on the run too, there's so much information, out there right now that we can use for running. If it's, using a stride meter to look at your power, to work on the running drills, it's very comprehensive. And underneath the hood, we've got millions of resources for coaches and athletes, from videos, things that they can use to look at to really make sure that they understand the training, understand the why. And I think that makes a big, big change.
When I got into trail running, it was all, the endurance sphere when you're doing Ironman and ultras and things like that. The ethos was sort of like, if it didn't go well, you trained harder.
Mm-hmm.
And overtraining was a huge factor. And now you've had this evolution of different training programs, but TriDot has been a wonderful tool because of the algorithms and because it takes, a good coach can do that, but then they're always resetting the training, right? Whereas, the predictive fitness automatically adjusts the training to do that, but it takes a lot of input from the athlete as well as the coach and back and forth, whereas it doesn't. So, it's a pretty exciting development that more people should be aware of. It doesn't replace you as a coach or any other your coaches, but it really leverages the ability as a coach, right?
Yeah, some people in this day and age, like, why do you need a coach? I'll just follow the workout.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get some gains, but we have enough research to show that with a platform and a coach, you're definitely going to double that. And I think the other thing, I'm going to go back to the IQ of what the platform does. But more importantly, when you can couple that with an EQ of a coach that knows the platform, that can work with people, that has a high level of EQ, because I kind of play the role as I am the guide or the teacher. And I get to know the emotional intelligence of that athlete, knowing that most of coaching is really from the shoulders up. I want to feel that emotion from the athlete. I want to make sure that I can really get into where are they confident, where are they fearful, where's their anxiety, what about their nutrition, what about their recovery, have really deep conversations. And the AI isn't even quite able to do that yet, or race strategy, or talk about recovery, or talk about a misstep, or talk about race nutrition. That's the beauty of the coach. So the athlete gets the best of both worlds when they can use the platform. And again, we've done enough research to say when they've got a really knowledgeable coach. And to say you're a triathlon coach, that sounds really nice, but I think I've explained to people it's almost like preparing like a Thanksgiving meal. You got to be so good at doing so many things that you've got to know a great deal about swimming, biking, running, recovery, strength training, the psychology of racing, the tactics of racing, and nutrition. The nutrition, not during the race, but day-to-day nutrition, and then really focus in on the nutrition on race day, which, Peter, you have just been fantastic, you and your team, to really provide some great insights for me that I can pass on to other people. So, and sometimes I don't have all the answers, but I feel confident in my coaching community of, say, 300 to 500 coaches. If I don't know the answer, I can usually get a hold of a coach, or I can call the mothership there at Vespa, Dr. Peter, and he can definitely give me some guidance on, hey, Peter, what do you think about this? And then we
Well,
kind of collaborate.
yeah, we've had great success with that.